Hey Nabros, this is my 2024 bike check. So for this year, I'm running things a lot different than I have in the past. I've run my bike pretty stock with a shorter travel, specifically for short form type of mountain biking. But I plan on doing long form mountain biking this year, and I wanted something that's a little more aggressive for the terrain, but also something a little bit more comfortable. So for this year, I'm running a Sid Ultimate 120 fork in the Sid Blue. It looks pretty sick, doesn't necessarily match my bike, but it is around the same weight as my 100 mil fork because I had a brain in the 100 mil fork, so that made it a little heavier. I'm really excited to see the difference in the 120 for the 2024 season when you get into the rocks. Super pumped about that, and I feel like it's really going to help my time. I'm also running a Fast Track T7 by Specialized. Last year I ran a Fast Track, but I ran the lighter S-Works version, and I got like 3 flats in a week when I started racing in the rocks. So this year, definitely going to run a more sturdy tire, a little bit heavier will help with the performance. So my back tire is the Specialized Renegade. It's also a T7, so it's not the S-Works. Again, I got lots of flats last year, which I'm not super pumped about. So I went for a heftier tire just to make sure that I don't get any flats. A lot of people ask what I run tire pressure wise. So in the front, I will run anywhere from 15 to 18, depending what the terrain is like. And in the back, I will run 17 to 20. Also, I will do the opposite of what a lot of people think. I will run a lower pressure in the rocks because I run a pretty quick tire in the back, so I want them to grab onto those rocks, so I want a little less pressure, and I want to book it, down, and I want the tires to absorb as much as possible, because I was running 100. Now I'm running 120. We'll see how I do with the tire pressure. But yeah, anywhere, like off season, I'm about 215 pounds. Once race season starts and everything, I'll get down to 200, 195, I hope. So those are the tire pressures I run at my weight. Front shock, I run at 110, and rear shocks, I run at 220. So this year I'm running a Fizik Antares Versus saddle. In the past, I've ridden the same saddle on all my bikes, the standard Fizik Antares, but this year I've decided to go for a channel for the longer races. Not for numbness or uncomfortableness per se, but more for airflow. I've noticed that this channel allows for airflow, which helps with chafing on longer rides. Might just be in my head, but that's definitely something that I've noticed. The big thing for me this year is I'm running full SRAM / RockShox AXS. I've got the SRAM or the RockShox Reverb AXS dropper post. I'm running at 125 mil this year. Last year I ran 100 mil on the standard cable actuated dropper post. And my biggest change for the 2024 season is I'm running SRAM XX1 AXS electronic shifting. I don't know how this is going to work out. I've flip-flopped on my opinions of electronic shifting for the last couple years. I just decided to take the plunge and go for it. Next is the big change for 2024. I got rid of the Brain, and I now have the Sid Lux installed with the bike yoke from the company Bike Yoke. It gives me the same feeling of an Evo. It's a little bit lighter, and it gives you a little more rowdiness than when you have the Brain installed. Next for 2024, I'm running the Candy 11's titanium pedal. Last year and previous years, I had been running the egg beaters. I broke my titanium egg beaters last year and bought some cheapo ones, and I hated them. And I had the candies on a couple other bikes, so I was like, well, why don't I just have the same pedals on all my bikes? So here I am. Those are big changes for 2024. I really was looking into buying a new bike. Basically, Specialized made the new S-Works very similar to what the past Evo was, and charged $4,000 more. Not super pumped about that. So I figured, why don't I just ride this one? It's similar to the former S-Works, which is now the standard. It has the 120 in the front, no Brain in the back. I do have to run the AXS. I cannot run a transmission. This was the last model before they went to the universal derailleur hanger, which was a real bummer because I was wanting to go to the transmission and then just swap that out to a new frame once I found a frame that I liked. But again, still not really pumped about all the frames that have come out. They're no different than what I currently have, so why spend a buttload of money on the same bike? And I love this color, so why change it out right now? Somewhat up to date with the technology. I have electronic dropper posts, electronic shifting. I'm just super pumped. I'm excited to get this bike in a race and see how it acts whenever you're really pushing the limits. Until then, thanks for watching.